Hello friends, today we are going to talk about the artist Vincent Van Gogh. He is probably one of the most famous artists who ever lived. His paintings are in museums all over the world and they're considered to be very valuable. This is his self-portrait, which is a portrait, of course, or a picture that he painted of himself in front of the easel, and it was painted in 1888. So obviously he lived more than 100 years ago. And the easel is this structure here. It's made out of wood. Sometimes they're made out of metal. And you use it to prop up your painting so you can stand and the painting is upright while you're painting. He's holding paintbrushes in his hand, and if you remember, this is a piece of wood that is used to mix. You put your paints on it and it's used to mix colors. You remember what that's called? It's called a palette. The palettes that we've used, of course, are now plastic, but in the 1800s they would be made out of wood. So Vincent van Gogh was born in the country of Holland in 1853. Holland is also called the Netherlands, and it is found in Europe, and it's located right around here, next to Belgium and Germany, and very, very close to France. Holland is known for its windmills and beautiful tulips. Vincent decided to become an artist after trying many jobs. All he wanted to do in his life was draw and paint. Here's another one of his self-portraits with a straw hat. You often see him wearing a straw hat because he loved to paint outdoors. Unfortunately, a lot of people did not really like Vincent van Gogh's artwork at the time, so he hardly sold any paintings in his lifetime. He has made, however, he made over 900 paintings while he was alive. So in 1886, he decided to move to Paris to live with his brother Theo, and that's his brother. You can see they look very alike. And his brother was an art dealer, which means his brother sold paintings in an art gallery. And his brother tried to sell Vincent's paintings, but nobody really wanted to buy his artwork. They didn't really like his style of painting. As you see, he uses these big, bold, bright colors and bold brushstrokes. And of course now people really, really respond to Van Gogh's artwork, and it's very, very valuable. But at that time in the 1800s, people didn't really like it. This is a painting he did of a cafe in Paris, a cafe at night. You see the people sitting down for dinner, late night, and then the yellow on the brick pavement is probably the reflection of the lights from the cafe. And then you have the beautiful night sky with stars. This painting, maybe you've seen it before, is probably Vincent van Gogh's most famous painting, and it's probably one of the most famous paintings in the world ever painted. It's called the Starry Night, and it was painted in 1889, just a year or two before he died. This is not a painting of Paris. It's a painting of a small village in France. As you see, the center of the village is a church. And the reason why people really, really respond to it is the way he paints the night sky. As you see, he uses these very swirling brush strokes for wind. And I always ask my second grade students, can you see wind? No, you can only feel it, but he kind of paints it the way you would feel wind on this very, very maybe cold and windy, blustery night. Also, the way he paints his stars is amazing in that he puts these halo effects around and around with his brushstrokes to really make you feel that the night sky, the stars are just glowing in the distance. This structure here is actually called a cypress tree, and it's a tree with curving branches that grows in France. Then he also did paintings of still lifes, sunflowers. He did painting of irises. And then this one connects to the Starry Night. It's called the Night Cafe in that if you notice, he paints kind of the halo of light on the lamps inside this cafe to make you feel like the lamps are really glowing light. This is a cafe in France, and the center here is a pool table. Perhaps you've played pool before. It's also called billiards. And you use a cue stick, which is this long stick, to hit balls, pool balls into each of the 4 pockets. Who do you think this man is here? Yeah, he's probably the waiter or the chef the way he's dressed. And then this is his bedroom in Arles, which is in a tiny village in France where he lived before he died. And as you see, because Vincent van Gogh did not sell many paintings and he died a poor man, his bedroom kind of shows that he had very little money. The floor, if you notice, is kind of scuffed up. It looks very old. The room is very, very tiny and small. And if you notice on the walls, there are paintings. And you could probably guess who painted them. Yep, that would be his own paintings on the walls. And this is his final self-portrait before he died in 1889. And if you notice, he has these swirling brushstrokes in the background, as well as the way he painted his coat. And that should remind you of the swirling brushstrokes he did for his painting Starry Night. That's what he's known for, those swirls of paint. And if you would see his paintings in person, if you go to the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, you could see some of his paintings in person, you will notice his swirling brushstrokes have a lot of texture and that the paint is very thick and bumpy. And I hope someday you get a chance to see his artwork in person. It's amazing. If you ever go to New York City, you can see the painting of Starry Night in the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. And I've seen it in person. It's pretty amazing, boys and girls. Well, that is it about the artist Vincent van Gogh. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and we will be starting our Starry Night inspired art activity in the weeks today and in the weeks to come. All right, see you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.